Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another hard-hitting episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sports Cast with yours truly, Rob, aka Callous Mind. In this video, we're talking about 2023 Week 5 predictions, talking Week 4 prediction results, and unfortunately, the Raiders lose again. This video is brought to you by Spartan Coins, makers of quality custom challenge coins. If you're in the market for custom challenge coins, custom lapel pins, or custom patches, be sure to check out Spartan Coins online by visiting spartancoins.com. My 2024 Week 4 pick results were 8 wins, 8 losses. Lions win on Thursday night in Green Bay, so good for them. Looks like they're going to be a contender in that NFC North after all. Falcons lose, Dolphins lose. Boy, they get out-punched by the Buffalo Bills. So the Broncos win a squeaker. The Browns lose. I'd actually, when I made that pick last week, I thought Deshaun Watson was going to be starting that game, but apparently he did not. They started a rookie, and it showed. The Bengals lose, Colts lose, Bucks win, Eagles win, but that was a squeaker. That was a nerve-wracking game as well. Steelers lose to Houston. That was probably my surprise game of the weekend, quite honestly. The Raiders losing, starting a rookie quarterback. They only lost by like a touchdown. I think it was 24-17. So not nearly as bad as it could have been, but they lost nonetheless. Cowboys win, Cardinals lose, and San Francisco does cover because the Cardinals were 14-point dogs in that, and San Francisco covered every point of that and then some. Chiefs win and Seahawks win, so 8-8. 2023 NFL Week 5 picks are as follows. On Thursday night, I'm taking the Washington Commanders at home against the visiting Chicago Bears. This will likely be an entertaining game, or could be. I also have a same game parlay wager on this that includes Washington winning the game. So we'll see how that works out, but I'm taking the Commanders to get the win against the visiting Bears. Sunday's games begin with Jacksonville and Buffalo, and I believe that game is in London. And I was half tempted to take Jacksonville in this game because my understanding is that they were staying overseas, so they won't be suffering as much jet lag as the Bills may be. But the Bills just have an outstanding offense, and man, they can just score with anybody, as proven in Week 4 against the Miami Dolphins. So I'll take the Buffalo Bills here to get the win. Next game, Houston versus Atlanta. I'm going to give Houston the benefit here. I believe they've won 2 games in a row, and they just are coming off of a big win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to say that maybe they keep rolling here, and I'm going to take the Texans to get the win on the road at the Falcons. Next game, Carolina visits the upstart Detroit Lions, and I'm going to take the Lions at home to get the win against the lowly Carolina Panthers. Next game, Tennessee visits the Indianapolis Colts, and this is kind of a coin toss for me because the Colts lost to the Rams in Week 4. However, it was a close game. It went to overtime. Tennessee won in Week 4. However, they were playing, I believe, Cincinnati. So this game is really a coin toss. It's an AFC South game. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the home Colts in this one. Next game, New York. They might be football giants, but they are not this year. Visiting the Miami Dolphins, and I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to rebound here after that loss to Buffalo. In Week 4, I'm taking the Dolphins at home in Week 5 against the lowly New York Giants. Next game, New Orleans Saints visit the New England Patriots. And I don't know what the latest is on Derek Carr's status as the Saints quarterback. However, New England is coming off of an ass whooping they received at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to take Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to rebound at home and get this win against the visiting New Orleans Saints. Next game, Baltimore visits the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is probably going to be a nip and tuck matchup, but I think the Baltimore Ravens are a more complete team. I think they may be the team to beat in the AFC North, and I'm taking the visiting Ravens on the road to get the win at the Steelers. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. and the Eagles had a tight game against the Commanders, but they still came out victorious in Week 4. And I think Philadelphia is a better team than the Los Angeles Rams. So I will take the Eagles on the road to fly against the Los Angeles Rams. Next game, Cincinnati visits the Arizona Cardinals. And in this game right here is interesting. One of two things is going to happen. Either the Cincinnati Bengals are the team the Arizona Cardinals needed to play to get the win, or the Arizona Cardinals are the team the Cincinnati Bengals needed to play in order to get right. Those are one of two things that are going to happen here. But either way, I will take the Arizona Cardinals because I'm a homer at home against the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Next game, New York Jets visit the Denver Broncos. And Denver had a close call this past weekend in Week 4. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at home in their mile-high city and against a team with a questionable quarterback in the Jets. So I'll take the Broncos at home to get the win. Next game, Kansas City at Minnesota. And I believe Minnesota got a win in Week 4, but I still don't really have a lot of faith in them, especially when it comes to facing Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I will take the visiting Kansas City Chiefs on the road to get the win in Minnesota. And Sunday Night Football features the Dallas Cowboys visiting the San Francisco 49ers. And San Francisco seems like they are clearly the team to beat in the NFC. And I don't know that Dallas could win this game. And even if they could, does it really matter? You have to be able to beat your opponent in the playoffs. And San Francisco in recent years has owned the Cowboys in the playoffs. So having said that, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers at home to get the win against the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Monday, October 9th features the Green Bay Packers visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. And you guys know that I love the Raiders no matter what. This is becoming a contentious relationship because they're really starting to piss me off. However, I'm going to keep picking them because I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently. So I will take the Las Vegas Raiders here at home to get the win, hopefully with Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback against the visiting Green Bay Packers. And teams with a bye this week are Cleveland, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. It's now time for the segment I like to call In Case You Missed It. This is from ESPN on October 3rd. Cowboys Jerry Jones road to Super Bowl runs through 49ers. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer at this point. Jerry Jones sees this Sunday showdown against the San Francisco 49ers as a measuring stick of where the Dallas Cowboys stack up against what he considers the team most likely right now to win the Super Bowl. They are right now probably the most likely team to go win the Super Bowl, but in order for them to get there, they have to go by us, hopefully 2 times, if that's the way it falls in the playoffs. And we're in the playoffs, of course, the Cowboys owner and general manager said Tuesday on Shan and RJ on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. But the bottom line is you're playing the best. You don't need the game to tell you you're playing the best, but you need the game to show how you stack up against the best. You know, speaking of the 49ers, the thing about it is you got to be good and lucky, and they were good and lucky last season. I mean, right up until the NFC Championship game when Brock Purdy got hurt, because if he had been healthy for that game, it might have been a completely different outcome. However, you know, it's hard for me to believe that this guy who was drafted last comes in as a rookie backup third-string quarterback and ends up carrying them that far, and they were all the way down to their fourth-string quarterback. So you really got to give Shanahan a lot of credit for their success over there in San Francisco. You know, it doesn't hurt that you have a good defense, but it doesn't hurt that you're kind of a gifted offensive-minded coach as well. And, you know, it doesn't hurt when you have a quarterback who can make the necessary throws, make the necessary plays, doesn't try to do too much, doesn't turn the ball over, and, you know, it fits. And this is something that I wish the Raiders would understand is either, one, get the ball out quick, or 2, have an offensive line that can protect your quarterback. But this, speaking as a Raiders fan of the Raiders, this year after year after year of having problems with the offensive line, it doesn't matter who is your quarterback. If they don't have time to throw the ball or they don't get the ball out, they're not going to be able to hit your receivers. You're not going to be able to get down the field. You're not going to be able to get first downs or score points. So fix your fucking offensive line. All right. And the last story I wanted to go over, and in case you missed it, was Rays wild card opener draws 19,704, lowest since 1919. Ouch, man. The AL Wild Card Series opener between the Texas Rangers and Tampa Bay Rays drew an announced crowd of just 19,704 to Tropicana Field on Tuesday, the lowest for a postseason game since the 1919 World Series, other than during the coronavirus pandemic, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. The crowd for the 4-0 loss to the Texas Rangers was roughly 5,300 below the listed capacity of Tropicana Field. The game began at 3:07 p.m. and the start time was not scheduled by Major League Baseball until Sunday evening. Game 7 of the 1919 World Series drew 13,923 at Redland Field in Cincinnati. The Reds won the best-of-9 series against the Chicago White Sox in 8 games, but Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis banned 8 players on the Black Sox for life for throwing games. The Rays routinely rank among baseball's lowest in home attendance and drew 1.44 million this season. The team averaged 17,781 for 81 home dates this season. Only the Kansas City Royals, Miami Marlins, and Oakland Athletics had a worse average attendance. Tampa Bay announced plans last month to build a 30,000-seat ballpark to replace Tropicana Field, the dome stadium where they played since the club's inaugural season in 1998. Before I get out of here, I gotta say, how about them D-backs? Yeah. That's gonna do it for this episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. Thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that fun stuff. Please, please, please be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you all next week. God bless.